This is Scout vs. Scout, a FantasyHockeyScouts.com podcast. Now here are the guys themselves, Jay and Cam.
How you going, Cam?
Oh, not good, man.
What's the matter?
Well, it's Sunday night, man. No games today. Like, NHL couldn't schedule one friggin' game on Sunday?
It's a bit of a tease, wasn't it?
Oh, the total letdown.
Well, let's talk a little hockey right now. Maybe it'll help cheer you up.
I doubt it.
Alright, well, we're going to do it anyways because I'm already set everything up. So here we go. So since you're a little bit just depressed, why don't we start things out on a bit of a negative note? What's your biggest disappointment about the young season?
Oh, Jimmy Howard, man. Big disappointment. You know, I really thought he'd be one of the better backup goalies in the league this year. I picked him up in a couple of my leagues. But yeah, just a stinker in the first game, you know, against St. Louis, giving up a couple of real bad goals and 5 in total. You know, I kind of thought he'd be in a good situation this year with Detroit, a good team. You know, Osgood's not really that established as the starter, you know, I don't think, based on his regular season last year. You know, and Babcock came in and said that he wanted 25 wins from his backup goalie, so I kind of thought Howard would be a great pickup. But yeah, after that first game, it's not looking that likely that he's going to be able to put up 25 wins this year.
Well, it's only one game, but yeah, it's definitely not a good start to Jimmy Howard's season. For me, I had a couple of big disappointments as well, and it wasn't really the players' fault this time. It was more their coaches. Two of our big breakout picks and two guys I had really high hopes for, Claude Giroux and Patrick Berglund of the Blues, haven't been getting a lot of playing time. In the two games so far, Giroux's been getting 10 or 11 minutes. And Berglund only got 9 minutes and 49 seconds yesterday against Detroit. I was expecting these guys to be playing upwards 13, 14, 15 minutes a game and getting good power play minutes. And I was expecting them to be kind of getting 60 plus points this year. Now I see these two games and I'm getting a little bit worried about it, to be honest. Still hopeful that the coach is going to just kind of their coaches are just going to ease them in a little bit. Get those minutes up eventually, but when it comes down to it, they're both on really talented teams that have really 3 scoring lines. So I'm a bit worried to see where he's going to get all these minutes from.
Yeah, I hear you. It's a little concerning. The thing about Giroux, I really thought he was going to play with Briere this year, and so, you know, instead he's playing with like Van Riemsdyk on the third line. So, it's gonna be a little tough if he doesn't move up a little bit and play with some better guys and maybe get some more power play time. So, but Berglund I still like. I think they'll move him around a little bit. He'll get playing time with a lot of different wingers, and St. Louis goes 3 lines deep. And they'll all be scoring. So I really think this guy's gonna pick it up. But yeah, he's definitely gonna need to see some more minutes. But yeah, I wouldn't get too down on him yet.
Well, we'll have to keep a close watch on their minutes. Why don't we look at things a little bit more positively now? This is our first podcast. We should probably be a little bit more hopeful. What was one thing that you're really pleasantly surprised by this young season?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty fired up about Sergei Shirokov. So you go back in the archives of FHS and you'll see that we've been talking about him since the very beginning. When there were first rumors that he'd leave the KHL and cross the pond and come over to the Canucks. So yeah, I was pretty excited to see him come over. We've been pretty fired up about him. You know, made a pretty big dent in the preseason, leading the Canucks in scoring, and then cracked the roster. And now he's playing, second line and first power play unit. So, no production after the first 2 regular season games, but this is a guy you could probably get in your league. Probably could have picked him up with the last pick in the draft. And so for a guy like that who could, he's got a lot of talent, could easily put up 50 points this year, I think that's pretty good value there. So
I wouldn't be too worried about these first 2 games. Nobody on the Canucks really did anything. So, let's give Shirokov a little bit of time. I think he'll get going too. I got one guy that I was pleasantly surprised by as well, and that's Michael Del Zotto. I picked him up in a prospect pool in one of my leagues, not really expecting anything out of him this year, and then all of a sudden he's made the team and scored his first NHL goal last night. He's a power play specialist, and the Rangers are desperate for somebody, so I have high hopes from this year. I realized he could get sent down to junior after his 9-game trial here, but I'm hoping that they're gonna get him in their lineup and really see that they need him all year up there. So he's got a potential to crack 20 points, maybe an outside chance at 30 points this year if he stays up all year. So, I'm crossing my fingers and hoping the Rangers give him a shot this year.